I already discussed 7th chapter of algorithm. Chapter 1 algorithm analysis, chapter 2 brute force technique, chapter 3 decrease and conquer, chapter 4 divide and conquer, chapter 5 transform and conquer, chapter 6 greedy method, chapter 7 dynamic programming. So from this syllabus I already finished searching, sorting, asymptotic worst case time and space complexity, algorithm design technique, greedy, dynamic programming, and divide and conquer, graph traversal, minimum spanning tree, and shortest path. So just one chapter is left, that is hashing. Chapter 8 is hashing. I already discussed two search technique. One is sequential search, another is binary search. In sequential search, running time is theta of n. In binary search, running time is theta of log n. But in case of hashing, searching running time is theta of 1 in best case and average case. So it's much less than binary search and sequential search. Just think an example of textbook. From the content directly we can go to the page. We don't need to search all book. Directly we can go to the page by seeing the content. Like in dictionary, directly we can go to particular word. So many applications require dictionary operations like insert, search, and delete. A hash table is an effective data structure for implementing dictionary. So here running time for insertion, search, and delete is much less than other data structure. In worst case, running time can be theta of n. If all data enter to one slot and linked list size is n, then running time will be theta of n. But in best and average case, it can be order of 1. Before discussing hash table, let's first discuss direct address table. If we are storing data directly in a table, direct addressing work well when the inverse of key is reasonably small. Means when we have less data, then we can use the direct address table. To represent dynamic set, we use the array, or we can say direct address table, denoted by T0 to m-1. These are the index in which each position, or we can say slot, correspond to the key in the universe. So directly we will store key in the table, that called as direct address table. In direct address table, if we are searching a key k, we will return T of k. Suppose this is a table T and here some index is k, and we are searching a key k. Directly we will go to this k slot and we will find that key. Next, insert, we can directly insert on X key. Like for inserting K4, directly we'll go to 4th slot. Next, direct address delete, we can simply make it to nil. So all operation will take running time order of 1, but it will work only for small set of data. It cannot work for large set of data. Suppose this is our U, inverse of keys, and these are actual keys 2, 3, 5, 8, and this is our table. Then 2 will be stored in slot 2, then 3 will store in slot 3, 5 will store in slot 5, 8 will store in slot 8. So directly we are storing the key in the slot. Next I will discuss hash table. With direct addressing, an element with key k is stored in slot k, but in hash table the element is stored in slot hk. Means we are finding hash value for k and we are storing there. So we use a hash function h to compute the slot from the key. We will find a hash function for every key and we will store in that hash value. So here h map the inverse u of key into the slot of the hash table. So we are mapping u with the slot of the hash table, and hash table, that slot start from 0 till m-1. Hash table size is m, so slot start from 0 till m-1, and that inverse we are mapping with the hash table. Here size of m is much less than size of u. In direct address table, size of m equals to size of u, But in case of hash table, size of m is much less than size of u. We can read as k hashes to slot hk, or hk is the hash value of key k. So you can read 2 is the hash value for A, 4 is the hash value for B, or A hashes to 2, B hashes to 4. These are our key and this is our HK. So K hashes to slot HK, A hashes to slot 2, or you can say 2 is the hash value for key A. Let's take an example. This is our universe of key and these are our actual key K1, K2, K3, K4, K5, and this is our hash table. So K1 map to H of K1, K2 and K5 both map to one slot. Then K3 map to H of K3 and K4 map to H of K4. You can mark here K2 and K5 both are in one slot. So multiple key may hashes to same slot and we call this situation as collision. So K2 and K5 are collide. They both hashes to same slot. So you can avoid this collision by chaining. In chaining, we place all the elements that hashes to same slot in a linked list. Like this K2 and K5 that we can store in a linked list. This is K2, this is K5. You can use either single linked list or double linked list and that will link to this slot. So in chaining, we place all elements that has to same slot in this same linked list. So how will insert? Just insert at the head of the linked list. Then for search, we need to search the whole linked list. And for delete, delete X from the list T of H X key. So I'll go to particular position from the linked list and will delete. So this is an example of chaining K1, K4 map to same slot. So we can make a linked list for K1 and K4. Here we use doubly linked list. Then K5, K7, K2, they map to same slot. So you can make a linked list for K5, K2, K7. They can be in any order. Okay. Next K6, K8, they map to same slot. So you can make a linked list for K8 and K6. If multiple keys map to single slot, then make a linked list for them. And that's all about chaining. For insert operation and delete operation, running time is order of 1, while for search, we need to search whole linked list. In worst case, all key can hash to same slot and we can make one linked list for all keys. So in worst case, it will be theta of n, if n equals to number of element or number of key. So for insertion and deletion, running time is order of 1, while for searching, running time will be length of the linked list. Next, analysis of hashing with chaining. We have n element and table size is m. We need to fit n element in m slot. So there is a term called load factor represented by alpha. Alpha equals to n by m. Given a hash table T with m slot and we have to store n element in that m slot. We define the load factor alpha for T as n by m. Suppose we have 10 element and the hash table size is 5. Then 10 divided 5, that will be our load factor. 2 will be our load factor. In one slot we can store 2 elements. Or you can say the average number of elements stored in a chain. Alpha can be less than, equals or greater than 1. The worst case behavior of hashing with chaining is terrible, means that n key can hash to same slot. We can make a linked list of size n and we can store all element in same slot. In that case, searching running time will be theta of n plus the time compute for hash function. And that is our worst case if all key hash to same slot. In best case or average case, it will be order of 1. So the average case and best case performance of hashing depends on how well the hash function h distributes set of key to be stored among m slot. How well we are distributing keys in m slot, that is our average case and best case performance. In worst case, all keys hashes to one slot. If we'll make a chaining, the linked list size will be equals to n. In best case and average case will equally distribute in m slot. If we can store any element in any slot, it's called as uniform hashing. So any given element is equally likely to hash into any of the m slot, called as uniform hashing. Uniformly we can distribute in any slot. For j equals to 0 to m minus 1, length of the list T of j by nj, so that n equals to n0, n1 up to n m minus 1, and the expected value of nj is E of nj equals to alpha, load factor equals to n divide m. In today's lecture, I discussed introduction to hashing, direct addressing table, hash table. In next lecture, I will discuss hash function. If this lecture is helpful for you, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.